What up, bitches? It's the MisanthropikOne, aka He Who Hungers, and I'm back up in this bitch for another rant/review. Today, I want to talk about this album right here, the Demigodz' latest album called Killmatic. The Demigodz. I know I mentioned these guys before on Apathy's review that I did for his album Honky Kong. And by the way, shout out Apathy. He wanted me to review this shit. I was gonna do it anyway, but he said it'd be an honor if I reviewed it. But the honor's all mine because I'm a fan of your work, love your music, love Self-Titled's music. A lot of the dudes in the Demigodz I fuck with, so I was gonna do it anyway. And shout out to Apathy. So I hope you enjoy this shit. But the Demigodz, in case you don't know who these guys are, it's a hip hop supergroup consisting of MCs Apathy, Self-Titled, Blackistan, Ryu from Styles of Beyond, Motive, and my man Esoteric, who I didn't even know he was Demigod, honestly, because I know he is associated with Army of the Pharaohs, which has some demigods in it, and I didn't hear the news that he was an official demigod because he's all over this album. But either way, it can't hurt that he's a demigod. Shout out to Esoteric. I know you know what it is. I know you watch my shit, so shout out to Esoteric. Glad to have you on board with the Demigodz. This is their first official full length because these guys have been around for a while, since the early 90s, the early inception of the Demigodz, and they put out an EP back in, I think it was 2001, 2002, that got Apathy and Self-Titled shine. It's called The Gods Must Be Crazy, and then they re-released it a few years back called The Gods Must Be Crazier EP, and they put a bunch of unreleased tracks on there. They had a different lineup then, but during the years it was mostly Apathy and Self-Titled that were cemented demigods in the group. They always repped it, and I guess they got a solid group this time, and they finally decided to put this shit out. And I was waiting for this shit since they first fucking announced that this album was coming out. So shout out to the Demigodz. Love all of y'all. Let's get into this bitch. First off, let's hit up production. Most of this album was produced by Apathy. He's really becoming a beast on the boards, and actually he always was. It's just that he's not really known for that. He's known more for his raps, but he does make some dope ass beats. And I would say more than half of this album is produced by Apathy. So he kind of kept it in-house. Who else is on here producing? Teddy Rockspin, DJ Premier is on here, Chumzilla, Schematic, Will C, and Marco Polo. And some of the cuts on here are done by DJ Premier and Chumzilla. Y'all know how much I love my cuts. I keep saying it every fucking video. So, like I said, most of this album is produced by Apathy, and they got some heavy hitters on here as far as production, like Marco Polo and Teddy Rockspin, who is getting a big push by Apathy. And the sound on here is very early 90s or mid 90s golden era boom bap type shit. If you're a fan of that, you're gonna love the sounds on this album. As far as features on here, you have Open Mic, who was one of the original Demigods, but I don't know if he's official anymore, but he's a feature on here, so I take it he's not really official. But you have Terminology, Scoop DeVille, Eternia, Pantry of NYGs, Planetary of Outer Space, and R.A. the motherfucking Rugged Man. Okay, so based on the features, you got fucking dope ass spitters on here. No One Came Whack, especially my man RA. He came on here and murdered his shit. Same with my girl Eternia, came on here, did her thing. And yeah, as far as the features, no one came whack at all. They all did their thing and added to this shit. This album, to me, is very similar to the Czarface album that came out. And I reviewed that one as well. That's 7L, Esoteric, and Inspector Deck's collaborative effort. I'll say what I said about that, about this album. Most of it is just straight up raw rhymes, raw beats, very boom bap-ish, very reminiscent of the golden era, 90s golden era hip-hop, hardcore hip-hop. This mirrors the Czarface album, which a lot of y'all told me too, like this is one of this year's driving albums, and I definitely agree. This starts off the year of 2013 very well. Nothing super conceptual. There's a few conceptual songs, like which one was it? Just Can't Quit, which is about just getting fucking smoking blunts and shit. That track will definitely make Be Real from Cypress Hill proud. What else is there? I'm looking at the liner notes here, seeing if I can remember. Raiders Cap, dope track. It's talking about the decor and most especially the Raiders Cap. And that track really brings you, with the references and everything, really brings you back to the old school early 90s West Coast feel with the LA riots and how all the MCs of that time or from that area were wearing that shit, like wearing black and wearing Raiders caps and shit. And that is very reminiscent of like old NWA, you know, who else was out at the time, like when NWA was busy running that era of hip hop, the West Coast hip hop. That's fucking cool. What else? Captain Caveman featuring R.A. the Rugged Man. Wow. Captain Caveman is a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, I believe, and they're referencing that in the rhymes along with Fred Flintstone and shit like that. They're talking about hitting women over the head with clubs and shit like that. Hilarious track, but again, R.A., I've said this before about my man R.A., he kills it. Anytime he gets on a track, it's just straight murder. Shout out to R.A., by the way, looking forward to your album. Legends Never Die, look out for that shit. Audi 5000, last track on this bitch. Love the way it feels like you're in the Demigodz cypher because they're all rhyming and passing the mic around, so you get that feel of actually standing and watching a cypher. That's what I get when I'm listening to Audi 5000. That's every demigod going in, basically signing out and passing the mic over. Singles are dope on here. Demigodz is Back, which uses the Rocky sample, the Eye of the Tiger. I don't know how Apathy cleared that shit, but yo, that was a good flip on that one. What else? Worst Nightmare, produced by DJ Premier. That's a single, that's a video. Again, I sound like a broken record. Once you have DJ Premier on your side, the possibilities are limitless. Fucking love DJ Premier. Check that video out. I'll put the link up for that one as well. Dead in the Middle, which I think was their first, Demigodz is Back was, I think, the first single. I forget, but Dead in the Middle was another single, and that sample is a Scooby-Doo sample. MF Doom used this early on his album Operation Doomsday, but these guys flipped it. Apathy flipped it a different way, and I love that. I think you could flip that sample so many different ways. The Scooby-Doo theme. Shout out to every MC on here. Apathy, Self-Titled, Esoteric, Motive, Ryu, Blackistan. Especially, again, shout out to Apathy. Thank you for messaging me. Like I said, I was going to do this shit anyway. Self-Titled. I keep telling y'all, a lot of y'all are sleeping on this dude. One of my favorite punchline rappers ever, self-titled. He's fucking ill. I've said it before. In fact, he had one of my favorite rhymes on here, and I forget what track it is, but this one had me laughing when he said, and let me paraphrase this, so self-titled, I'm sorry in advance if I fuck this up, but he says, I like my gun like my bathroom sink. I keep my scope on the top. I was like, oh my fucking God, man. This dude is so hilarious with his shit. Shout out to Self-Titled for that. Shout out to everyone in Demigodz. Keep making dope ass shit. My rating of this shit, 8.75 to about the bottom of a 9. Dope shit. Check it out. And that's it, alright? Everybody else, y'all know the deal. Leave your love, leave your hate. Most of all, subscribe, support dope shit, and that's it. Peace, bitches.